r/AskReddit. What's the most ducked up thing you've done for money? NSFW. I'm a 25Y/O male. Had a 60ish guy pay me $150 cash to help him cook dinner and watch a hockey game together. Except naked the whole time. I have never been more scared for my peen than when making chicken parm naked. Deep frying things while naked is now a new fear I never thought I'd have. Advice I heard from nudists: always wear an apron while cooking. Whipped my tit out and electrocuted my nipple on an electric fence for $50. We could be friends. I'll just watch you be friends. I sold a picture of my girlfriend's feet for $130 to one of her ex-coworkers. I asked her first. Of course. But it still felt questionable. Yeah, you pimped her, dude. Not technically wrong, since you asked her, but still. She's my hoe now. I once was bored in my mid-20s, around 3 AM, and I saw a gig on Craigslist. Turned out an escort needed a safe driver to get her to gigs. Not thinking too much about it, I contacted her and spent the rest of the morning driving her around. At one appointment she came downstairs, came to my truck, handed me $20 and told me she needed more condoms. I was taken back, but decided what the hell. So I went to the local pharmacy. This was now almost 6 AM and bought 2 boxes of condoms for her. Went back, handed them off, then proceeded to wait for 2 more hours. She eventually came out. I drove her back home, where she paid me $150. I felt so wrong taking the money, knowing she was getting railed for her money, then had to pay me. I took the money anyways, and she was pleased. I was a pleasant young man/driver. One of the weirdest odd occurrences for me by far. Found the first stupid driver. The second oldest profession in the world. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Kind stranger. Late one night in my 20s in Okinawa, an overweight female bartender at a dodgy karaoke bar asked to see my peanut was pierced at the time. I quipped that it would cost her $10. She joked back that for $10 I should be naked. Welp, the other bartenders all threw into the pot, including a really attractive one, and so did some of the customers, mostly dudes who thought it would be funny to call my bluff. All told, I made around $120 bucks to drink a rear in the nude while being jibbed by a bunch of drunk expats. Guess I could put semi-pro stripper on my resume? Edit. There it is. Folks. My top comment. Greater than sign. Drinking naked in an Okinawa bar with a pierced peen. Found the Marine. Someone had to pay a Marine to show his puss junk. They could have just waited for it. It was inevitable. Elementary school, licked the janitor's mop for $2.35. Thanks for the silver, and no, it's not a euphemism. It did because that's how much 2 slices of pizza cost in the cafetorium. What an oddly specific amount. Sounds like the exact amount needed for school lunch. Opened a pack of UGR cards. Saw they sucked. Shoddily put the pack back together and sold it to my buddy at cost, claiming it ripped in my pocket. Sorry Greg. Rowley? It's about time he got back at that duckwad Greg. Just thinking of Hefferli's hit eating grin gets my gears grinding. I went to gym class in my underwear. I almost made it through without getting caught by the teacher. Edit. I made $30. Dude. We sometimes had to attend the gym class in underwear if we forgot to bring proper pants for the class. I don't know if that's a thing in any other school, but it felt pedo as duck. Even looking back it feels wrong, no matter how you think about it. My school, they gave you loaner clothes. Waking up way too early in the morning to go to a place I hate. But on pretzel day. Well, I like pretzel day. MMMMMM. Back of the line. Boo-hoo. Was at family dinner and my uncle complained that my aunt burnt the green beans. As a joke. He said he would pay anyone $50 to eat the whole bowl. He did not expect me to take him on the offer. This was a dinner bowl meant for like 14 people. So that night I didn't eat an actual dinner. Just an obscene amount of green beans. Surprised I didn't barf, and I had interesting weird hits for the next 2 days. Edit. You bet your ass I got the money. And $50 I assume. The bet was actually to eat the bowl, not the green beans. So no. Answered a Craigslist to kick a guy in the balls and walk on him for $160. Liked the easy gig and the money. Made about $10,000 doing that afterwards and went to Europe for 2 months. Jesus, some people are ducked in the head. Edit, quit replying with "it's a kink" and stuff like that. Leave a downvote if you really want to, but I'm fully aware of it being a kink. But it made me monies. Not me, but a friend of mine accepted PS304X. Despite being into degrading X, hence accepting this. She really had no need for the money. She was so unaroused by the guy that they couldn't get his peen inside her. Dry like the Sahara. So she wanked him off. No one came out of that experience well. This is why you need to bring your own lube. If you're gonna get X, use lube. Sold Bitcoin at $1,000 EA. This hurt me, and it had nothing to do with me. I'm sorry. When I was 10, a dwarf offered to pay me if I stripped for him in the back of a dirty subway station, and I accepted. World of Warcraft is a strange game. Edit, oh crap. Gold. Thanks. Also, for those speculating I was a female gnome. The last sentence made me slightly less concerned, but now I just have more questions. For some reason, the part where they were 10 went right over my head, and I was just like, okay, weird place to strip I guess, but what's the big deal? Went back and reread it and thought, wait, what the duck? I used to give myself paper cuts for money in high school. Earlobe, eyelid, top or bottom, finger webbing, etc. People paid way too much for that. This is the stuff I came for, lol. Manila folders work wonders, my friend, lol. Letter crawdad pinch my nipple. Ducker was far stronger than I thought and ended up drawing blood. I essentially had my nipple pierced for $1. Lol. $1. You still duck. Edit, thanks for the gold. Did not expect this to get golded. I'll use my newfound riches to make another editor happy. What does this mean? I have to know. Surgically implanting an neodymium magnet in someone's finger so they could sense magnetic fields. It works. At least according to the friends I know who've gotten it done. Also handy for holding screws in place. You know multiple people who have gotten a magnet implanted in their finger. My friend offered me €20 to have a staring competition with a hooker in Amsterdam. I went right up to the glass and stared at her for around 30 seconds before she opened the door and threw boiling water over me. She lost and I got the money. Did she just have the water ready in hand, or did you have to awkwardly stand around till she boiled it? Lol, no, she had that hit ready to go. LPT, don't mess with the hookers in Amsterdam. When I was back in school I had a good friend who was getting bullied quite badly. He was scared to stand up to the guy bullying him as he was quite small. He paid me the holy sum of a Mars bar to hit his bully round the back of the head with a fire extinguisher. Cue an unconscious 12-year-old and me getting a rather long suspension from school and interviewed by the police. I was such a douchebag back then. Edit, to clarify, we were all in the same year at school. I was just a bit of a loose cannon back then. As others have said, it wasn't the high-pitched ding sound you'd expect. More a dull thud. No lasting injuries / brain damage occurred. The guy I hit was a real nasty piece of work, but I agree I took it too far and felt genuinely guilty after. The Mars bar was pretty effing epic. Not really a douchebag, but maybe you took it a tad bit too far with the extinguisher. Good for you for standing up for the little guy though. Extinguishes bullies. Someone left an envelope full of money in a booth of one of the tables at a restaurant I worked at. I didn't even think twice about it at the time. Just pocketed it for rent. Bothers me to this day that I didn't make an effort to return it to its rightful owner. Man. Money ain't got no owners. Only spenders. Common. I spent 5 years in China teaching ESL. In addition to the school I worked for, I took private students as well. One was a successful but bored plastic surgeon. 90% of his business was the same 3 surgeries. So he wanted to learn English to break up the tedium. He would call me at random times with little or no notice and ask if I wanted to come over and give him a lesson. So one night he called me to come to his office. Very normal. But when I got there, the nurse was giving me booties and a hairnet and telling me to scrub my hands. Before I knew it, I was in the operating room giving him an English lesson while he performed a nose job. I hit you not. I barely made it through. The surgery channel makes me lightheaded, and I was catching the live show. Pretty much scarred for life now. Edit, he wasn't performing surgery on me. It was someone else's nose job. I was just an observer. It was a violation of like all known procedures of sterility and cleanliness in the OR. 2. China is basically the Wild West. But seriously, that's one hell of an experience. Did you ever think that you'd tutor a surgeon during an operation? That's kinda freaking cool if nothing else. Yes. Cool but horrifying. I was a waiter at a restaurant with a prep line that had mayo on it. There was only one dish that used mayo that no one ordered. So this mayo would sit out all day and get this foul yellow skin. I bet a buddy $100 to eat the skin right before the shift started. I spooned off the whole bucket myself, and it was a heaping scoop. He powered through it, but not long after he was absolutely green. We are still friends. Probs earned more from your dare than what he would earned before tax on that one shift. Definitely worth it.